Hello, it's Fiona and welcome back to another art, books and crafts video. Today's video is a digital piece which I have been wanting to do for a little while. So this is one of my absolute favourite quotes from Obsidio. I'm not very good at remembering quotes, so the fact that this one kind of stuck with me from as soon as I read it to now means that it obviously meant something to me. So I just kept playing around with the idea in my head of this quote and what I wanted to do with it, and here we are. For those of you who have been following my Instagram, you'll know that I have been doing a lot of quote design type illustrations and sketches and all sorts of designy things, and this was one that I did post recently-ish, well, probably a couple of weeks ago by the time the video goes up. This was originally a sketch I did when I was out on a blogging lunch, when I should have been planning some blogging stuff, but instead I ended up sketching this out in its entirety, and I just couldn't get it out of my head fast enough and knew I had to attempt a digital version. So a bit of a fun fact for you guys, if you don't know, I actually do come from a design background. I have a degree in animation and design, but I am somewhat out of practice, and by somewhat I mean nearly 7 years. I didn't really draw much after my degree because I lost all interest in it, and university was a lot of cons and a few pros. So we shan't really get into that, but you know, 'tis what it is. I survived, I did it. So I'm just getting back into design. I've got a long way to go, but this is some fun stuff that I have been challenging myself to do. One of my main things from this series, this art, books and crafts series, is that I want to be able to look back in, you know, several months, a year, several years time, however long it goes on for, and actually see the improvement of my design skills. I thought by sharing it with my peers, you guys, my watchers, YouTube people, all sorts of stuff, that I would get, you know, a sense of contributing to the community, but also people who want to give feedback. I'm all for feedback. Like, don't criticize me for being out of practice, but honest feedback saying you could improve this here, you can improve that there, is welcome always. I understand the importance of criticism and feedback, but when it is just and asked for, not when it is not asked for. So back to the actual illustration. You probably noticed that I work on the text for quite a while. I do actually go back again later on to make some changes, not just with the text but actually with the whole illustration. One of the few things that doesn't particularly change is the background. I add a little bit of different colour later, but I really like how the background turned out. I knew there was something not quite right with the layout of the image, which is why I probably liked the background how it was, but something was really bothering me whilst I was trying to put the text in. So I ended up actually moving quite a lot of it down, as you can probably see from the video. This meant that I could sort of centralize the text a bit more and bring it closer and more central so that it is easier to see, because the very top bit was sort of getting lost too far at the edge. And I noticed this when I went to sort of look at printing it and putting it on Redbubble, and how everything was chopping off the very top, and how suddenly it just didn't look as balanced. So I went back to try and fix that because I knew something wasn't right there. But I really like how it turned out in the end. I know I still have a long way to go in terms of design, and I hope in the future, if I do something similar to this, I can look back and see where I've improved. And that's kind of my goal for this whole series, is just to give myself the challenge of improving myself. That's all I want. I really like this illustration, I really like how it turned out, I really like the book this illustration is from. If you haven't read the Illuminae Files series, it is fantastic. I will leave linked down in the description a link to my video review of Illuminae from several years ago when it first came out, and how much I loved it, and how much it is definitely worth a read if you are even remotely interested in sci-fi. It's very, very good. What other quotes would you like to see me try and design in the future? You know, like, what kind of quotes don't you see very often? And any tips you guys want to share with getting back into design and into art and into being creative, because it's been quite a while and I'm really excited to rediscover my creative side. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video today, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye!